going on, Jerome's? Minnesota Vikings have another Victory Monday press conference. Head coach Kevin O'Connell feeding the local media jackals. Not a hat model. We need to talk to Kevin about his contract. Where's the hats, man? Also, wearing like the Long John's sweater. I mean, looking like Dawson from Dawson's Creek. I don't want to wait. Whatever. But he said some stuff and some things, so let's dive on in. No injury updates for Stephon Gilmore, hamstring, and Patrick Jones II. Both of them missed the game on Sunday. He said that they did get some good work in on Monday today at the training facility. So we'll see. But the Vikings do have depth at both spots, which is good. I also mentioned that the Vikings have a padded practice earlier this week, taking advantage of the extra day, which is interesting given the lateness of the season. But the Vikings, of course, stress physicality, and padded practice certainly will take that. Jefferson, Addison, talk about how they excel at tracking deep throws, and that is something that stands out too. Just like the moon shots coming down, and you see the trust that Darnold is building up with them, just like, F it, 18 or 3 are down there. And they really do great work reeling these things in. Obviously, you wouldn't have them as punt returners, but you would think that they would be fantastic in that regard as well. McCardle, wide receiver coach, talked about how he does do a lot of drills in terms of helping them track the ball, but a lot of it is just natural ability, and also the fact that they can see the rotation of the ball, see the laces, and can throttle up or down through contact. It really is impressive. And he talked about how it does remind him of Deshaun Jackson, prime Deshaun Jackson with the Eagles when O'Connell was with Washington, just being able to fly as well as track the ball. And also they did have a cup of coffee together with the Rams, Kevin O'Connell and Deshaun Jackson. So that's interesting. Jordan Addison, things that he's learned over the last couple of years besides, I don't know, Metro Pass, Uber. I learned how to play bigger and tough through contact, proving that he can play downfield through said contact. And the speed, the quickness, the hands are all there. But Addison being a little bit smaller of a receiver, a little bit slight in stature, did put in a lot of work, adding some good weight. And you could tell it definitely shows downfield. Plus, he praised Addison's downfield blocking as well, getting a nice piece of Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons down the field in some of the longer runs, which run blocking on screens was definitely an area where Addison needed to improve, and he's done it this year. Darnold had beyond the huge plays that we all saw, had a lot of sneaky good plays upon film review, a lot of ball placement things. O'Connell gave a lot of credit to 14 for, and also just a lot of good little things, and those things add up. I mean, obviously the big time highlight plays are great, but making sure that you're doing small things that add up and stack up to help you win, and avoiding mistakes, that's key. And also Darnold, playing so well, rooted in the moment. He's got an elite process where every single day, just try and get better, stack good practices, stack good weeks, and then eventually you have a good season. And they stack good seasons, and got a damn good career, man. Also, demands a lot of himself, but doesn't take on the full weight of the world, which I think is important because when someone puts too much pressure on themselves, and if things don't go your way, some people can crack, right? But if you just have a healthy outlook on things, you prepare, do your best, and let the chips fall where they may, I think that's good. Plus, O'Connell said it was cool when Darnold waved the towel for the fans, because it was kind of nice to have a fourth quarter where you weren't really worried about the outcome. So the U.S. Bank Stadium crew was putting up, the daily stats on the Jumbotron, showing Jefferson and Addison and Darnold. Plus, Darnold is definitely even-keeled, cool customer, not too high, not too low. He's not really, he's like the opposite of Baker. Like, he doesn't wear his emotions on his sleeve, and that's okay. Because honestly, Darnold waving that towel is maybe the most emotion that I've seen out of him this season. Also, talks about how beautiful it's been since that the fans have embraced Sam Darnold. He is one of us now. And also, little wins are the reason we do this job. Talk about how obviously it's great to win games, but just seeing Sam Darnold play his best ball, seeing the fans recognize and respect that, it's really makes the job awesome. Also, big-time praise to quarterbacks coach Josh McCown. He says he's been key as QB coach. The demeanor as well as communication, because O'Connell, like, even though he's a quarterback whisperer, former quarterback play caller, like he doesn't spend every waking second with the quarterbacks, as he is head coach of the entire team. He's not just a coordinator with a challenge flag like some coaches. But you have to be in lockstep because quarterback is the most important position, and the head coach pipeline to OC and or quarterback's coach, the line of communication is really important so that the head coach's will is communicated down to the quarterback. And Grant Udinski, assistant quarterback coach, plus Josh McCown, the best combo there is. Also, major respect to Udinski, who was a quarterback's coach last year, having the humility to step aside and allow the Vikings to bring in a guy like McCown, who has a ton of pedigree, was highly sought after, and now you see why. Also, so everyone knows that McCown and Darnold were together with the Jets, but I forgot that O'Connell was McCown's quarterback's coach in the Browns system back in the day when Pettin was head coach. So the quarterback's room was like Brian Hoyer, Johnny Manziel, and Josh McCown. It was great. And O'Connell was younger than McCown at the time. And Gabriel Murphy made his debut. Versatility inside and out, and you saw him play. He did outsnap Dallas Turner, except they were playing two completely different positions. A lot of inside 3-tech, 4-tech, 5-tech with Gabriel Murphy. They talked about how it's on the Van Ginkel model and envisioning a Patrick Jones II type role where he's going to be all over the place. And that is the name of the game up front. Versatility allows you to have a lot of creative looks that offenses have never seen, and quarterbacks are going to poop themselves. Diamond Dallas Turner, active with the juice. You like the juice, huh? Had that big hit on Kirk Cousins, which really sort of turned the tide. And, Kurt was looking comfortable, and, the crowd was sort of quieting down. But as soon as Turner completely took belt to backside with Kurt, I mean, that was a changing of the tide. Also, Byron Murphy Jr. Talk about ball tracking skills, and O'Connell referred to a moment when Deshaun Jackson was with the Rams and Byron Murphy just ran a route like he was the receiver. And Murph, respect. Murph deserves to be in the Pro Bowl and deserves some All-Pro consideration. 6 interceptions this season. That one-hander was great. Although O'Connell did say he wished that he wasn't so close to the end zone, so it was a close decision whether to kneel on or run it out. But 6 interceptions, leading cornerbacks this year. It's really amazing. Also, in a contract year, of course, so let's pay him. Things he learned. So Don Mitchell, Fox 9, asked a great question at the end about things that he learned as a player from coaches that he was receiving instruction from, not to do as a coach. He's like, there's not enough time in the world. It's funny, man. But basically, he talked about being hyper-aware, learning the right way to do things, taking stock in what made his job easier as a player. Also watched others, what worked with others during their football journey. And, during his career, he was around some pretty damn good ones. He was drafted to be Tom Brady's backup. He saw what happened with the Jets and Mark Sanchez, so I think he learned a lot of things not to do in that regard. He was a backup for Phillip Rivers for a season. So, yeah, I mean, O'Connell's definitely learned a lot, and he's been around the block. And I think that his number one thing is that he has a lot of empathy, right? And that's not seen as a weakness because he understands... First off, it's a great advantage that he was an NFL quarterback himself, so he understands what it's like to be in the shoes of the guys that he's coaching. But also, he understands empathy. Not everyone learns the same. Not everyone's journey has been the same, and I think that he has just been phenomenal at getting the best out of everyone, whether it's Kirk Cousins or Stafford or Slinging Sam Darnold or eventually J.J. McCarthy. Or the passionate Jaron Hall and Nick Mullins, right? Or maybe Daniel Jones down the future. I don't know. But I do have to say, I know that we have nitpicked some things with Kevin O'Connell. Some play calling, 4th and 1, blah blah blah. But dude just wins. Dude just communicates with quarterbacks. They put up points, and everyone's happy. You ever notice that? There's never been a moment where Justin Jefferson or Jordan Addison have been unhappy with the offense. Do you know how rare that is with superstar wide receivers? It's extremely rare, man. Come on. But anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Kevin O'Connell, Victory Monday press conference. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.